Have you ever had the feeling that your bed has turned into a battlefield? You lie down, your body is exhausted, but your mind seems to kick into overdrive and doesn't stop thinking for a second? Or maybe you even fall asleep quickly, but when the clock strikes 3 in the morning, your eyes open and sleep simply vanishes, leaving you frustrated and anxious, knowing that the alarm clock will ring soon. What if I told you that the key to turning off that switch isn't just in strong medications, but in simple secrets that reside in your kitchen and in the way you prepare your bedroom? Stay with me, because today we're going to draw the natural map for you to fall asleep like a baby again and wake up. Our community here is a space for exchange and support, so please write in the comments, from 0 to 10, what score would you give the quality of your sleep today? 0 being terrible sleep, and 10 being dream sleep. Don't be shy, let's talk about it, because the first step to healing is recognizing where we are. And of course, watch until the end, because the practical dietary tips I'll share could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Let's start by understanding what's happening to you. Often, patients come to my office saying simply, "Doctor, I can't sleep." But we need to investigate this carefully because there are important nuances. In preventive medicine, we usually observe 2 main types of insomnia, and identifying which one you have completely changes the strategy we'll use. There's what we call primary insomnia. You know that situation where you put your head on the pillow and sleep just won't come? You toss and turn, count sheep, review the problems of the next day, and nothing happens. This difficulty initiating sleep is primary insomnia. On the other hand, there's a different scenario which we call secondary or maintenance insomnia. In this case, the person even falls asleep easily, sometimes even sitting on the sofa watching television. But suddenly, in the middle of the night, usually around 3 or 4 in the morning, they wake up. And it's not a peaceful awakening. Often the heart is racing, the mind is already active, and falling back asleep becomes an impossible mission. Do you identify with either of these scenarios, or perhaps with both? Understanding this is fundamental because our body functions in cycles, and these awakenings tell us a lot about your hormones and stress levels. Now, before we talk about what to eat, we need to talk about where you're sleeping. Imagine your bedroom should be a sanctuary, a modern cave. In ancient times, our ancestors slept in total darkness, and our DNA still yearns for that. Today, however, we live surrounded by artificial lights. And here's a crucial point that I need you to pay close attention to, without alarmism, but with awareness. There's a gland in our brain called the pineal gland, and it's the conductor of the sleep orchestra. It produces melatonin, the hormone that signals to the body that it's time to rest. But melatonin is shy. It only appears in the dark. When you take your cell phone to bed, or have that little modem light blinking, or the TV LED on standby, you're sending the wrong message to your brain. The blue light, emitted by electronics, especially cell phones and tablets, simulates midday sunlight. So even if it's midnight, if you're looking at the screen, your brain understands that it's daytime and blocks the production of melatonin. The result? You stay awake, alert, in a state of vigilance that prevents deep relaxation. I know that nowadays it seems impossible to disconnect. Many patients tell me, "But Dr. Robert, what if there's an emergency? I need my cell phone next to my bed." I understand that concern. It's natural to want to be accessible, but I invite you to do a test, a small health challenge. Try charging your cell phone in the bathroom or another room. If there's a real emergency, the phone's ringing will wake you up, or you can keep a landline for extreme cases. The problem with having your cell phone next to you on your bedside table isn't just the light, it's the mental overstimulation. Every notification, every vibration keeps your alert system on. Your brain doesn't switch off because it's waiting for the next piece of news, the next message. This generates an underlying anxiety, almost imperceptible, but which fragments your sleep. Furthermore, let's talk about temperature and comfort. Your body needs to lower its internal temperature slightly to fall into a deep sleep. A very hot or stuffy room hinders this process. Try to keep the environment cool and well ventilated. And what about clothing? It should be comfortable, neither too tight and restricting circulation, nor so loose that it bunches up on the bed and bothers you. It seems like a small detail, but tactile comfort is essential for the nervous system to relax. Another point that few people mention is regularity. Our bodies love routine. They function like a Swiss watch when we give them the right stimuli at the right time. Try as much as possible to go to bed at the same time. There's no point in sleeping at 10 p.m. on Monday and at 2 a.m. on Tuesday. This inconsistency confuses your biological clock, leaving it unsure when to release sleep hormones. Creating a wind-down ritual is vital. An hour before bed, dim the lights in your house. If you have yellowish or reddish light bulbs, even better, as these colors are less harsh on our vision at night and don't block melatonin as much as white or blue light. Now that we've prepared the ground, tidied the room, and removed electronic distractions, we need to talk about the chemistry of sleep. Sleep isn't just tiredness, it's a cascade of chemical reactions. And for these reactions to happen, your body needs raw materials. This is where the magic of nutrition comes in. Did you know that a large part of serotonin, that neurotransmitter of well-being, which later transforms into melatonin, is produced in our gut? That's right. What you eat defines how you sleep. There's an essential amino acid called tryptophan. The name is complicated, but its function is beautiful. It's the building block the body uses to construct sleep. Without enough tryptophan, melatonin production is compromised. And the good news is that you don't necessarily need to rush to the pharmacy to find it. Nature, in its infinite wisdom, has placed tryptophan in very accessible foods. Let's start with a classic, the banana. The banana, especially the riper one, is an excellent source of tryptophan. But it's not just bananas. Eggs, especially the yolk, are very rich in this nutrient. Nuts, almonds, pumpkin and sunflower seeds, chickpeas, oats, and even a piece of fresh cheese. All these foods are allies for your rest. But there's a trick, a biochemical secret that enhances all this. Tryptophan competes with other amino acids to enter the brain. To facilitate its entry, we need a little help from insulin in a controlled way. Therefore, combining a source of tryptophan with a good quality natural carbohydrate is the golden strategy. For example, a mashed banana with some oats and honey in the late afternoon. The carbohydrate from the banana and oats helps to open the doors of the brain for tryptophan to enter and begin the production of serotonin. It's a perfect and delicious alchemy. But listen up, my dears, the secret is also in the quantity. Going to bed with a very full stomach is the enemy of sleep, as heavy digestion increases body temperature and keeps the metabolism accelerated. On the other hand, going to bed hungry causes stress on the body, releasing cortisol and adrenaline, which will keep you awake. The balance is a light, nutritious supper that signals satiety and comfort, but without feeling heavy. We are building a solid foundation here. We already understand the environment, the importance of darkness, the danger of screens, and the first steps of nutrition. Don't leave the video. I'm still going to detail exactly which teas work as natural remedies, how to use supplementation safely and correctly, without excesses that can be harmful, and talk about the role of the sun, not the midday sun that burns, but the right sun that regulates your clock. Stay with me because the most practical part comes next. Now, I want to delve into some very practical solutions. Let's talk about foods that already contain melatonin or direct melatonin enhancers. Let's enter the wonderful world of teas. And I have a surprising lettuce recipe to teach you. And of course, let's demystify supplements with medical responsibility. Many people believe that melatonin only exists in capsules sold at the pharmacy. This is not true. Nature has distributed melatonin in various foods that, if consumed regularly at dinner or in the late afternoon, help to gently regulate your biological clock. Cherries, especially the more tart ones, are famous for this, but I know they aren't always easy to find or accessible. So let's focus on what's easy. Purple grapes, tomatoes, yes, tomatoes, pistachios, and oats are foods that contain phytomelatonin. Brown rice is also an ally. Imagine preparing a light dinner with some brown rice, a fresh tomato sauce, and perhaps a dessert with some grapes. You are literally having dinner that invites sleep. The secret here is not eating large quantities, but rather consistency. It's about showing your body day after day, holding a warm cup, feeling the aroma rising, compels you to stop, sit, and breathe. A classic that never fails, if done right, is chamomile. But not just any chamomile. Try using dried flowers, the kind you buy in bulk at health food stores, as they better preserve the essential oils. Chamomile contains apigenin, a compound that binds to the same receptors in the brain as some calming medications, but in a much gentler way. If you add a few drops of lemon and a teaspoon of honey, you enhance the effect, as honey helps, as we've seen in the transport of tryptophan, and lemonade's digestion, preventing the liver from working hard at night. But here's a golden tip that few people know. Lettuce tea. It may seem strange to put lettuce in hot water, but lettuce leaves, especially the stalk, contain a substance called lactucin. Lactucin has mild sedative properties, comparable to low doses of tranquilizers, but without the side effects. A powerful combination for those who suffer from insomnia due to anxiety is to make passion fruit tea. It can be the leaf or the pulp, along with a lettuce leaf. It's a natural calming remedy. And for those with a very racing mind who never stop thinking, valerian root combined with lemongrass is excellent. Valerian has a strong smell, it's true, but the relaxing effect on muscles and mind is undeniable. Speaking of relaxation, we need to talk about supplementation. I see a lot of confusion these days with people taking very high doses of hormones unnecessarily. Let's get things in order. The first supplement I consider essential for most people isn't for sleep, it's to unlock relaxation. Magnesium. We live in a stressed society, and stress consumes our magnesium. Without magnesium, muscles don't relax and the brain doesn't shut down. For sleep, magnesium inositol or bisglycinate are the best. They help lower anxiety and prepare the ground for sleep. And what about the famous melatonin? Well, it's wonderful, but it should be used wisely. Remember we talked about the two types of insomnia? If your problem is falling asleep, primary insomnia, sublingual melatonin, that little drop or tablet that dissolves under the tongue, is the most suitable as it enters the bloodstream quickly and gives the signal that it's time to sleep. Now, if you wake up in the middle of the night, secondary insomnia, perhaps a slow-release formula would be more interesting to maintain stable hormone levels, but please be careful with the doses. I see people taking 10-20 milligrams without guidance. For sleep, generally low doses, between 0.2 milligrams and 3 milligrams, are more than enough and much safer so as not to disrupt your natural production. The goal is to supplement, that is, to complete what is lacking, and not to replace the work of your body. Another point I can't fail to mention is the gut. Did you know it's your second brain? Most of your body's serotonin is produced there. If your gut is inflamed, if you have gas, bloating, or constipation, your serotonin production drops, and consequently, your sleep worsens. Including natural probiotics like natural yogurt, kefir, or kombucha in your daytime routine helps populate your gut with good bacteria, which will work in your favor in the sleep factory. And to finish with a flourish, I want to talk about light. I said to avoid light at night. But which light? The morning sunlight, very early, until 10 a.m. Avoid the midday sun for this purpose, as we want to protect your skin. The morning light, when it enters your eyes, without sunglasses if possible, for 10 or 15 minutes, reaches the back of the retina and sends a signal to the brain saying, "The day has begun. Produce cortisol now to have energy and start counting the time to release melatonin in 12 or 14 hours. It's like winding a clock. If you don't get daylight, your body doesn't know what time it is at night. The treatment of insomnia begins the moment you wake up. Open the window, go to the balcony, have your coffee looking at the sky. This is free and powerful medicine. Many people think that to sleep well, they just need to be comfortable. But biologically, your body needs something specific. Reduce the internal temperature. For the brain to begin the process of deep sleep, its core temperature, that of the vital organs, needs to drop by about 1 degree Celsius. Tomorrow, you'll buy chamomile tea. Health is a daily construction made of small bricks of good habits. I'm absolutely certain that, by applying these principles, you will rediscover that restorative sleep that gives you the energy to live. It was a great pleasure to share this knowledge with you. I am Dr. Robert Torniere, and my goal is to see you living longer and, above all, living better. Now I want to see you in the comments. Write to me. I accept the sleep challenge, and tell me which of these tips you will start applying today. And if you know someone who constantly complains of tiredness, share this content. Let's create a chain of good and health. A big hug, may God be with you, and finally, have an excellent night's sleep.